All right, good morning or good afternoon, whatever time it is. Today we're going to talk about video 8 and what happens after you've done the process that we've asked you to do. So I have just got an email. I got an email from Katie Mizell has submitted a new Connect team request. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. The reason that I got this is because I am the connector. I am the one that is assigned to all of the Connect team requests for Powdersville. You can see that's Powdersville. When we go live, we will determine you need to let us know who are the connectors that are going to be for all of the areas of ministry that are in these sections. So that'll be part of what we'll roll out. It'll probably be campus admins at the campus level for serving, but eventually you'll want to give those to volunteers. You'll want to give those to staff. And so we'll talk about those later. But if you already know, because after you do this video, you can certainly tell me and I'll try to set those up in production. Now, I clicked on the connection request detail for Katie, and you can see a couple different things about her that you probably saw in video 8. I won't go over those right now. But what you can see is that she filled out the interest form. She's interested in Connect Team for welcome and greeting. And she said, hey, I'm watching video 8. What should I do next? So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look down here to see what is being worked on. So I can see right now that Erica Refner, she did something on 128, which was a long time ago. And that's the last thing that's been done on Katie Mizell in the system. So you can see like Katie did some work. There was a background check that was done on Chris Rivers. She's interested. And I mean, so this was all done in children's ministry because you can see the opportunity right here, all of the areas that she's previously tried to get plugged in. So I'm wondering if she's actually serving on the children's ministry team because she had a background check. There's actually a flag here that says that her background check is pending, which means that she hasn't actually submitted. So that's how I know she's never started. She's never been serving in children's ministry. So something fell through the crack. I don't know what that is, but that's one area that I can see. I'm also going to click on her profile because I want to see all the other connections that she's also trying to get involved in. It was unsuccessful, so I can see that. So something happened where she didn't go through with children's ministry and she didn't go through with Connect Team down the road at Pelham, but she is trying to get through this process with Powdersville. So that's the one that I just got access to that says, hey, here's an alert. So right now, here I am. I'm going to basically now work through this process. So because this is testing, the first thing that I'm going to do is I would call her. Hey, Katie, what's up? I hear you got something going on. You want to serve in Connect Team. Awesome. For our processes at Powdersville, we're going to actually ask someone to come do a jump in, come watch the service, watch how we serve, come to a huddle and let them kind of see all the areas that we serve. And then we're going to plug them in. Now, I don't know what the process is at your Connect Team or your children's ministry or whatever area of serving there is, but there's probably some steps that you're going to ask people to take. So that has a lot to do with the activities down here. So this little plus sign down here, the first thing I'm going to do, I just called her, right? Let's say I got her on the phone. She says, hey, I'm going to come in. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. I spoke with Katie, and she is going to come in next Sunday and complete a jump in and huddle, and we will assign her to a team after that happens. Okay, so I'm documenting what's happened. I'm going to put called. I'll just put left note here. These activities are activities that as you're working through connections, as you go through these, like I created these based, some of them came out of the box, some of them are ones that we added. But if you feel like you need to add another one in here, just let us know and we can do that. I'm just going to leave note and click add. And what that'll do is that will show that on today's date for Connect Team, Chris Rivers did an activity. This is really important that you always add an activity because any staff member that is looking at this, a campus pastor, a leadership team member, whatever that's trying to understand how this person's getting plugged into our church, we want to document these areas. So the next thing that I'm going to do, because she's coming in, today's the 1st, April 1st, So let's say, we're done with COVID-19. She's coming in basically on Sunday, April 5th. That's the next Sunday. So what I would do is I would probably come here to edit. Well, this is not probably what I do. This is what I would do. And I would put a future follow-up for the 6th, because if she doesn't show up on the 5th, then I want to be emailed a reminder telling me to go open this thing, just like I did. I'll get a reminder just like I did on this one that says, hey, you have a reminder that you need to follow up with Katie. So in this connection request, I'm going to change the future follow-up, and then I'm going to change it to in progress, because that's what she's in. If I needed to reassign the connector, if I'm no longer going to be the connector, let's say I'm going to assign this to Sherry Gilliland now, then I could go give it to Sherry, and the minute that I click save, she's going to get an email telling her that she has a connection request, and she'll see in the note that Chris talked to her. She's coming in Sunday, so she'd be expecting her to be there, and then she could that could be the handoff that I give to her. Whatever your processes are, these are where it's really important that we think through these and have them. I'm not going to assign it to her because I haven't told Kate. I mean, I could, but well, let's go ahead and do it. I'll assign it to Sherry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in progress, and then this future follow-up, what's going to end up happening is the future follow-up is going to go to Sherry. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I probably will go ahead down here and add an activity as well, or I could just go to this and I could say I am now assigning this to Sherry. And asking her to take it from here. Okay. Here. Okay. And then I'm going to hit save. Now, I would probably, call Sherry too, just to let her know, like, you won't have to do that going forward because your processes will be in place. But now this is on Sherry. I've handed it off to her and she's good to go. So now if let's say, Katie fills out a hellograce.church form, or she calls another pastor, or whatever the case may be, when they go to Katie's record and they scroll down, they'll see that she's in process for Connect Team. They can click that. They can see the activities. Okay, this was assigned to Sherry. Chris spoke with her. She's actually coming in on Sunday to do a huddle and a jump in, and Sherry's got it. So if I have a question about anything, I can reach out to Sherry and go from there. So that's how you work connections. So if you've done video 8 and now you've filled out an interest form, I would say go through as a next step, just take 10 minutes to do this, to go through each of the connections to see what are we actually trying to do, because they're not all serving. These are people that are interested in going on a missions trip. These are discipleship opportunities like Azair and Bridge. So this bridge is a process to get people plugged in, couples to get plugged into working through Bridge. The workflows, all the different things, that every single different activity has different workflows that do different things. So click on these, familiarize yourself with them, and get acclimated to them. If you have questions, email me, but hopefully this helps you understand how to work connections going forward.